So Michigan became the first state to ever dump right to work, right? Michigan pushing for more union control. Michigan pushing for mandatory paid leave and a whole host of other things, none of which makes companies say, hey, I sure wish I could do business in Michigan. None of which does that. My next guest, Brad Close, president of the National Federation of Independent Business. Brad, good to have you.
Thanks. Good morning, Steve.
None of those things I listed help anything, do they?
No, they do not.
No, and it's getting worse. And, you know, the challenges in Michigan, it's tough all over, but it's tougher in Michigan thanks to a lot of really bad policies, right or wrong.
Oh, correct. The Michigan is not trending in the most business-friendly way right now, especially for small business.
What do we need to do here? I mean, we talk to people about business on a regular basis. What needs to be done?
Well, I mean, in general, we would argue that small business owners need to get involved. Owners need to get involved and engaged with both their state legislators and their federal ones. You know, we're focused right now on trying to make sure that Congress does not let a deduction that most small business owners are able to take on their federal tax returns expire. Right now, the 20% small business deduction has been a big help for small businesses. It's been around since the 2017 tax cut law, but it's scheduled to expire at the end of 2025. And if it does expire, small business owners are going to face a massive tax cut at a tax increase at the federal level in a few years.
So we're going to get hit both at the state and federal level. I mean, look, we got rid of the right to work.
Yeah,
we're forcing people to join unions, so that's happening. We've got tax increases. We've got all of these. You know, you'll have to have a license, no matter what the job is. Just to want a job, you have to have a license, which is also just nuts. I mean, when I was born, 5% of the people who went to work in Michigan in the 1960s, about 5% had to have a license to go to work. Now it's half. Half. You know, for almost half, I should say. And isn't that's punishing to people, isn't it?
Well, I think it keeps people out of jobs that they should be doing. It keeps small businesses from being able to start up right in certain fields. So yeah, it doesn't help at all.
Right. So what? Give me a laundry list of some of the things you think really need to be done. Turn things around.
Well, I think, you know, when you look across the country, a lot of what small business owners are concerned with is the overwhelming number of regulations that are put on them by their federal and their state and their local governments. Regulations that don't make a whole lot of sense. They've always been concerned about what their tax burden is, the state and the federal level, how much, you know, especially Washington wants out of small business owners' pockets. And let's remember that this is their money, right? That Washington wants more of. It's not that that small business owners are asking for something. They want to keep the money they've earned. So, you know, there are a lot of things that are challenges for small businesses. It feels like we're in a little more challenging time for them right now. But we're seeing more of them open, and we're seeing small business owners get things turned around and start to be able to grow a little bit coming out of this pandemic.
Right, because and if we don't, you know, the exodus to Florida, Texas, Tennessee, pick your place. People from Michigan are like, hey, we're out of here. And they're going to find better places. And Governor Whitmer just yesterday gave this whole speech about the path forward or where we go from here like that. And what I didn't hear was, hey, permanent tax cuts. Hey, let's make business competitive. Hey, no, what I hear is fleece the taxpayers, bring in Chinese battery plants that will be, you know, staffed half by Chinese nationals, not by Michigan people, by Chinese people. Weird to me. Am I crazy?
Well, I think you are seeing people move to states that have a much lower tax burden and a lower regulatory burden, especially on the tax side. Individuals and businesses are making the decision that I can keep my business going, I can grow, I can hire more people, do better if I change states. And so you're seeing a lot of that movement. The pandemic accelerated it, but tax policy plays a huge role in the success or lack of success of small businesses and their employees.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so. What are you seeing around the country right now? What's your Brad Close? What's your Brad Close here, president of the National Federation of Independent Business, NFIB? You see their stickers on doors everywhere. You know, if these things continue, you say that 9 out of 10 small companies are going to be forced to cut jobs, limit plans to grow, in some cases, close down altogether. It's a tough time to be an entrepreneur, but it's always tough to be an entrepreneur. But as you look down the road, I mean, you're looking at higher interest rates. You're looking at the possibility of more increases by the Fed. And look, if you're a small business, good luck getting 5 cents from the local bank, right?
Yeah, I mean, when we talk to small business owners, we poll them every month on economic issues. Inflation has been the number one issue for a long time. That is very apparent. It's making it harder for small businesses to grow, to keep the customers they have. People are spending less. Inflation is definitely hitting small businesses, and it has for the last few years. What we're trying to do when we push back on tax increases in Washington and the states is make sure that members, that small business owners, can keep more money in their pockets. You know, this tax cut bill in 2017, they cut the corporate rate to 21% and made it a permanent cut so it doesn't expire. But for small businesses, they gave them a 20% deduction, but it expires at the end of 2025. So we're doing everything we can to really push hard to keep that going, because the small business owners need it. A lot of small businesses who are really, really small don't know if they benefit from a provision like this. And if they look at their tax form, their 1040, look at line 13, and that will tell them exactly what that small business deduction is. And we're trying to just level the playing field and make it easier for small businesses to compete against their larger competitors.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you just see those larger competitors steamroll. Greatly appreciate you being here, Brad. I do. I know it's a tough time to be small business. It's never been easy, but it seems to get tougher all the time. So thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Steve.